race. I mean, 5 castles, obviously.
Just the one. One's enough, thank you very much, John.
The time is just 13 minutes past 8. You're watching Breakfast. Carol will be here with all the weather for us in about 5 minutes' time.
Now, thousands of runners will be gearing up for the start of the Boston Marathon today, and of course we wish them luck, but it's a poignant time. It's a year since it was the target of 2 bomb attacks.
Yes, and of course 3 people died, hundreds more were injured in that blast. But racegoers have vowed that they won't be beaten, and this year's event today is set to become the second largest ever in its history.
It has a very long history. The Boston Marathon is the oldest in the world. It makes it a highlight for competitors. We have some. Marcus Mumford and Stuart Singer ran the event last year. Stuart's wife Janice was watching and joins us now. Welcome. Good morning. It is a poignant event, isn't it? I mean, you have to be very good to actually even be allowed to run in the Boston Marathon in the first place, don't you?
Absolutely, yes. It's a race you have to qualify for. So for a lot of marathon runners, it's something that they aim for throughout their career. Just to qualify is a real privilege to take part.
And you were there last year. You just crossed the line when the bombs exploded.
It was about an hour after I crossed the line. So I was actually back at my hotel with my wife and just finishing off after the race really, and we heard a loud boom, but it sounded a bit like thunder really. Looked out the window, it's still sunny, but we kind of thought it might be something to do with a race, maybe fireworks or something like that. But then shortly after someone called us and said, look, are you okay? I said, I'm a bit tired, I just ran a marathon, but didn't think anything more of it than that. He said, no, have you heard about these bombs on the finish line? And that was the first we really realised something was going on.
So many will be feeling so lucky, Stuart and Janice. I mean, especially you were watching Stuart. And obviously you did very well, you ran a very good time, yes. But also were lucky enough to get ahead before the bomb went off.
Yes, I mean, again, I had crossed the finishing line when the bombs went off, but not by a huge amount. We were through the line, met with Janice, and we were actually walking away from the finish line when we heard the explosions. We looked at each other. We didn't really expect them to be bombs, obviously, and we heard sirens, and we left to go back to the hotel. And it was only then that our phones started ringing and people started calling to say, are you okay? And the reality hit on us.
Janice, what was the atmosphere like?
Well, at the time, before obviously we knew that the bombs had gone off, the atmosphere was amazing until obviously we started to walk back to the hotel and heard the bombs, which I thought was a gunshot wound, and then a second gunshot. That's what I thought it was, a gunshot. And obviously we didn't know what was going on until our phones started ringing, similar to Mike's, and that's when we realised that something major had happened.
We've seen pictures there now of the aftermath of the explosion, and of course there was the police hunt for the perpetrators, wasn't there, for several days. What was it like being in Boston for those few days? Because I imagine the whole place went into lockdown.
We were in lockdown. Our hotel was just across the common, which is not far from where the bombs went off, and we were in lockdown that evening, weren't we? And weren't allowed out at all until the following morning, which we did go out, but it was very, I can't explain how the atmosphere was. It was dark and dismal, and it was just bleak, wasn't it?
It was very subdued. You know, we'd all taken part in this huge event, all the excitement of it, and we'd all finished, and then suddenly it was just a very, very subdued atmosphere, and everybody was, we didn't know, was there going to be more bombs, was there going to be more attacks? We felt quite safe because the police presence was enormous. There was police outside every single hotel, they were everywhere, and we felt very confident in their ability to deal with this.
Marcus, it was an interesting moment because the London Marathon took place the week after, and many runners ran and commemorated, thought of fellow runners in Boston. How has this affected you as a runner? Has it put you off running?
Certainly not. I think I'm keen to do as much as possible as a result of this. It's certainly allowed me to weigh up my options and prioritise things and really try and enjoy myself as much as possible. You can never protect yourself against anything like this. In the same way I didn't stop going in aeroplanes after 9/11. You just got to do what you can, and you don't really know what's going to happen on the next day.
And lots of runners feeling the same way as well. Not to be defeated is the kind of the feeling.
Absolutely, I think that's the beauty of a sporting event like that. It does bring people together with a common aim. It's almost a celebration of everyone striving towards the same purpose.
But Stuart, having said that, you must look at pictures, especially on an anniversary like today, and think, goodness me, just, you know, moments beforehand, I passed that very spot.
Well, I think absolutely, because last year when we were there, we were very elated the whole occasion, and it didn't really dawn on us. But it was last week when we were watching some programmes about it, and suddenly saw the pictures of the chap putting the bomb down, and Janice thinking I was standing right there. It actually did haunt us a lot more than it had last year, definitely. But that said, as Marcus said, it certainly doesn't put us off from running more marathons and taking part. In fact, if anything, it makes us want to do it more.
Would you do Boston again?
I don't know if I would do Boston. Last year I ran all the world majors, and so I've dealt with that and I've done that, and it was an amazing experience. So whether I'll do Boston again, I don't know. I wouldn't say no, but I wouldn't say yes at this stage.
Well, thank you very much indeed, anyway, for coming in 1 year on and reflecting on that, and to any Brits taking part in the Boston Marathon this morning, because I know quite a lot do, don't they? It's quite a popular marathon to take part.
Absolutely.
Good luck to any of you watching or being in contact with your family back here today.
Let's goodbye.